Have you ever just stood there, staring into your fridge and wondering, how does this thing actually work? I mean, it feels kind of like magic, doesn't it? Well, it's not magic. It's a really clever trick of physics. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this appliance we use every single day and reveal the brilliant cycle that moves heat out to keep your food perfectly cool.
First up, the cold conundrum. So here's the absolute first thing you got to understand. Your fridge doesn't create cold. Not at all. That's probably the biggest misconception out there. What it actually does is it moves heat. And that's the real puzzle, right? How in the world do you pull heat from inside an insulated box and just dump it into the warmer air of your kitchen?
Well, this is how it's done. A refrigerator is really just a type of machine called a heat pump. Its entire job, its whole purpose, is to grab thermal energy, heat, from the inside and move it to the outside, literally forcing heat to go in the opposite direction it wants to naturally.
Okay, next up, meet your refrigerant. To pull off this amazing heat-moving mission, the system needs a secret weapon, a special substance that does all the heavy lifting. And this is the hero of our story, the refrigerant. So, what's the big deal with this stuff? Well, the refrigerant's superpower is its incredibly low boiling point. This is the whole key. Its ability to effortlessly change from a liquid to a gas and then back again is what allows it to soak up a ton of heat in one place and then release it somewhere else. And here it is. Inside this tank is our secret agents. This is the fluid that's constantly running through all those hidden pipes and coils in your fridge, always changing its state to carry out that heat-moving mission.
All right, Section 3, the four-step heat heist. So how does our little agent actually pull it off? It follows this continuous four-step cycle that we're going to call the heat heist. It's this brilliant little dance of squeezing, releasing, expanding, and absorbing, and it just repeats over and over and over again.
The whole journey kicks off with step 1, the squeeze. This is really where the process gets all of its power.
And here's the muscle behind the whole operation, the compressor. Seriously, think of this thing as the heart of your refrigerator. Its job is to take in that cool, low-pressure refrigerant gas and do exactly what its name says. It compresses it, squeezing all those molecules tightly together.
And that squeeze has a huge effect. The compressor jacks up the gas's pressure, and because of physics, its temperature skyrockets too. So just like that, our refrigerant transforms from a cool gas into a very hot, high-pressure gas, now absolutely packed with thermal energy.
So now our refrigerant is blazing hot and just loaded with energy. It's time for step 2, the heat release.
This hot gas now flows into these things, the condenser coils. And you probably felt these. If you've ever put your hand near the back of your fridge and felt that warmth, you were feeling the condenser coils doing their job. As that hot gas snakes through these long tubes, all that heat just radiates out into your kitchen.
And this leads us to our second big state change. As the refrigerant sheds its heat, it cools down enough to condense. It turns from a hot gas back into a warm liquid. But, and this is important, it's still under really high pressure.
Okay, so we've successfully dumped the heat. Now we get to what feels like the most magical part of this whole process. Step 3, the pressure drop.
That warm, high-pressure liquid now hits this tiny but crucial part, the expansion valve. The best way to think about it is like the nozzle on a can of hairspray. It forces all that liquid through a teeny tiny opening, and that makes the pressure just plummet, instantly. And that sudden drop in pressure, boom, that's where the cold is born. The liquid refrigerant immediately begins to evaporate, turning into this super cold, low-pressure mist. It's the exact same principle that makes a spray can feel cold when you use it.
So now our refrigerant is extremely cold, and it's finally ready for its main mission. Welcome to the final step, the chill zone.
This icy cold mist flows into a different set of coils, the evaporator coils. These are the ones inside your fridge and freezer. And since the refrigerant is now way colder than your leftovers, all the heat from your food naturally flows right into the coils, kind of like a sponge soaking up water.
And as it soaks up all that heat, the very last bit of that liquid refrigerant boils and evaporates, turning completely back into a cool, low-pressure gas. The heat heist is a success, and now it flows right back to the compressor to start the entire journey all over again. All right, next section, inside the machine. We've seen the 4 steps of the cycle. Now let's put all the pieces together and see how they fit inside a real refrigerator.
Looking at this diagram again, it all just clicks into place, right? You've got the compressor down at the bottom, sending hot gas to the condenser coils on the back. Then the now liquid refrigerant flows through the expansion valve and into the evaporator coils inside, absorbing heat before returning to the compressor. It's a perfect, continuous loop.
And our last section, a world with cold. You know, this isn't just a clever trick of physics. It's a simple cycle that fundamentally changed how we all live. So when you boil it all down, just remember these 4 actions. Squeeze to get hot, release heat to become liquid, expand to get cold, and absorb heat to become a gas again. This simple, elegant cycle is the secret behind every single refrigerator on the planet.
I mean, think about it. From keeping food safe to preserving life-saving medicines, this process has had an absolutely immeasurable impact. It really makes you wonder, as we all look for more efficient and environmentally friendly ways to manage temperature, what's the next great leap in refrigeration technology going to look like?